Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. Jersey Joe Archino back here. And really, it was an incredible weekend. We had Super Bowl 50, Leicester City, Man City. But a matchup in the NBA that we had also been waiting for very mightily, and that was the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Golden State Warriors. The first time this season that we've been able to see the two heavyweights in the Western Conference take on one another, and it resulted in really just another Golden State victory. And really, the quote that I think makes it all was Steve Kerr saying, "It's about time we got a close game to play in. This is fun." And really, if that doesn't say the amount of confidence that the Golden State Warriors have, I'm not sure if anything else was the final on that game, 116-108 Warriors. And it was one of those games that it's funny, it seems like Golden State is going to do what they keep on doing to everybody. They build that lead and then they just take off from there. But this was an incredibly competitive basketball game until the very, very end. Really, we don't see Golden State tested very often. So when they are, it's always very interesting to see how do they adjust? What do they do? What does Steve Kerr say in the huddles? How do the players react? And they react like they always do. One thing you have to say about this Golden State team is they are so smart. I mean, I watch them play, and it's like the Spurs in their prime. This is just a smart basketball team everywhere. Guys know where to be on the floor at any given time. They're always in the right place at the right time. It is really a reflection of high basketball IQ, always doing the right thing on the floor. This is really a special and a historic basketball team. From Steve Kerr down, this is a team with just an incredibly high IQ. And again, you always see their positioning is at its best when it matters most. Draymond Green is always there around the basketball to pull down a crucial rebound when it matters most. Even guys like Spates are there when it matters most. Every player on this team just has such a good awareness of being on the court, being on the floor. I mean, this is one of the reasons this is such a historic three-point shooting team is the team has such a good floor awareness everywhere. And in the last 4 minutes of this game, that's what you really saw come down to is the Warriors' floor awareness is just excellent, everybody. And Curry, had his moments. It wasn't his prettiest game shooting the basketball, but it's one of those things where it's another measuring stick for this Warriors team. Is we've seen them take down the Spurs, we've seen what they've done against the Cavs, and we've seen what they've done against the Thunder. Now, really, the biggest challenge has been the Thunder. I mean, I think the Spurs are having an incredible year as well. Obviously, the Spurs and the Warriors are hands down the two best teams, but the Spurs have a lot more veterans on that side, and they shoot a lot less threes than they did last year. Those two elements right there tell me they're not going to last very long in the playoffs against Golden State. Golden State, the teams that are going to give them any trouble at all are got to have youth, they've got to have depth, and they've got to be able to play fast. The Thunder can do all those things, but I still think they're missing that extra edge to get past the Golden State Warriors. When it comes down to it, they are just a cut above everyone else. I mean, we know it. It's not difficult to see what we're watching. It's really not. Watch the games. Golden State is hands and far and alone better than anyone else. They're not a great defensive team. You got to get past that. They're able to get by because they have a perfect floor awareness. Every player on that team. They have a change of pace point guard in Livingston who has been incredible. I really thought, part of the reason they kind of struggled the season after Jared Jack left was because they didn't have a good enough change of pace point guard, and that really was a detriment to Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry was at his best. He had probably his best season before he became MVP when Jared Jack was his backup point guard. Now he's had Sean Livingston, which is really a flawless change from Curry to him. He is able to run that offense so smoothly. He is an incredible basketball player, like everyone on this team. Golden State, again, is just a cut above the rest, and they showed it again, beating the Thunder. Although it was a close one, it still just shows you again that when it comes down to it, the Warriors are the best team. No one is beating them in a 7-game series. They could be tested, and they will. I think if they play the Thunder, they will. But at the end of the day, just 7 games that it takes to beat them, not going to happen. Too fast, too deep. Their tempo, their historic three-point shooting. I've been saying it. I sound like a broken record, but I watch the games every night. I know what I'm watching, and there's nobody that I've seen who can stand toe-to-toe with them in a 7-game series. Now, it is also interesting, because last week we also had the story that Kevin Durant, expressed that the Warriors were going to make a strong push for him this summer when he becomes a free agent, and that he also had mutual interest in the Golden State Warriors. And I thought, Stephen Curry, after that came out with a 51-point game, heavy response to those rumors. Then Kevin Durant against the Warriors has an incredible game, 40 points. It's funny, he hits that big three at the end of the game to make that game so close. And it's one of those things where you keep asking the question, if this Warriors team keeps going at this pace, do they need Kevin Durant to win, or does Kevin Durant need the Warriors to win? I still think it's this team is kind of set where they are. Of course, if you can get Kevin Durant, that does make you a better team, but I don't think you need him to win titles. This team has shown who they are. They have enough as it is. Maybe they become a little bit more Stephen Curry oriented, but even in that game, Stephen Curry wasn't one of his most impressive games this season, but they have all the players to pick it up when he doesn't always have it. Klay Thompson, I think, is the perfect kind of player for them because Klay Thompson's as gifted a scorer and as gifted a shooter as there is in this league, but he always is willing to take the backseat to Curry, and when he's needed, he's always ready to step up. I mean, he hit some great shots in that game. It really felt like anytime Curry was kind of out of sync, Klay was right there to pick him up, and that really is such an important dynamic for this Warriors team because it would be easy for the egos to get in the way, but it's not because this is a very unselfish group. Unselfishness on top of everything else just is more of a reason why this Warriors team is just the best in the NBA, why they will win another title this season, and I think why they control the NBA for the foreseeable future. That foreseeable future could include Kevin Durant, but we will have to see what happens there. But the Warriors with another very convincing win against the Oklahoma City Thunder, 116-108, and I think Steve Kerr kind of said it best. It's fun. This is fun, and it's been all fun for the Warriors this season. But until next time, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino, on Instagram Jersey_Joe_Archino, and I'll see everybody next time.